Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. The Polish government has asked the president to declare a state of emergency in areas close to the country's Belarusian border because of an alleged attempt by Belarus to destabilise Poland by pushing migrants across the border. When declared, the state of emergency will cover 183 municipalities for an initial period of 30 days. The immediate reason for the move is the crisis caused by the plight of 30 Middle Eastern migrants camped for the past 3 weeks on the Polish-Belarusian border after being refused entry by Poland. Last Sunday, police arrested a group of 13 liberal activists who had destroyed the border fence and stated that this was an act of civil disobedience. They demanded that the government relax the border control and let the migrants in. According to the law, such crime carries a penalty of up to 5 years behind bars. Yesterday we had more than 70 attempts to cross the border illegally. Border Guard officers thwarted 50 such attempts. We detained 21 illegal immigrants. They are mainly from Iraq, but there are also people from Egypt, Syria and 4 Afghans.
Zatrzymaliśmy również obywateli Egiptu.
The migrant situation has racked up tensions between Poland and Belarus, with Warsaw accusing the Belarusian government of encouraging migrants to cross into Poland in an attempt to destabilise the country. The president said the decision will be reached soon.
Inicjatywy ze strony rządowej, o których państwo słyszeliście.
I take the government's proposal very seriously. We are examining in detail the resolution of the Council of Ministers to impose a state of emergency along the border street.
Ministrów dotyczącą wprowadzenia w pasie granicznym.
Mateusz Morawiecki, the Polish Prime Minister, said that the state of emergency will be introduced for a 30-day period in parts of the Podlaskie and Lubelskie provinces.
Będziemy mogli dzięki temu lepiej.
In this way, we will be able to better ensure that our border is watertight and prevent the aggressive actions that Mr. Łukashenko's regime is taking against Poland.
Prowokacjom, które są cały czas prowadzone.
Adding more details, Mariusz Kamiński, the Interior Minister, said that the emergency laws will cover 183 localities in the border zone and will ban all tourist excursions, events and demonstrations in the area in order to enable the border guards, army and police to monitor the border more effectively.
Musimy liczyć się z różnego typu prowokacjami.
We must be aware of possible provocations of various kinds. It is about the safety of the people of the region and all those who appear there because of their naivety, credulity or other cynical motivations. They undertake irresponsible acts that can have tragic consequences.
Podejmują różnego typu nieodpowiedzialne, skandaliczne wręcz działania nad granicą.
The government wrote on its website that inhabitants over 18 in areas covered by the emergency laws will be obliged to carry personal identification in public areas. Minors will have to carry a school card. The right to carry firearms, ammunition and explosives will also be restricted. The right to organise and run gatherings, mass events and cultural events is also suspended. Poland, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia have accused the government of Alexander Łukashenko, the Belarusian president, of encouraging Middle Eastern migrants on its territory to cross into their countries as part of a so-called hybrid war against them. On Friday, the European Union Commissioner for Home Affairs, Ylva Johansson, said the crisis was not a migration problem but a part of the Belarusian policy of destabilising the European Union. 41 years ago today, the Communist government of Poland and representatives of striking workers struck the agreement that paved the way for the creation of the Solidarity Trade Union and ultimately to the collapse of communism. On the 14th of August 1980, a strike broke out in the Gdansk shipyard, which contributed to the overthrow of communism in Poland. The immediate cause was the dismissal of Anna Walentynowicz from the shipyard on August the 8th. In a show of solidarity, the whole crew stopped their work. It was then that the strike committee was established. It was headed by Lech Wałęsa, together with Bogdan Borusewicz, Jerzy Borowczak, Bogdan Felski and Ludwik Prądzyński. The committee formulated 21 demands.
Godność pracownika.
The dignity of the worker, working conditions and decent wages were the basis of all demands. This was particularly prominent in the Dąbrowa Basin, where the strikers even drafted a bill on trade unions.
Swoiste.
Gdansk was followed by the rest of the country, Lower and Upper Silesia and Mazovia. Because of the growing number of protests, the political bureau of the Central Committee of the Polish Communist Party agreed to the creation of independent trade unions.
Polska była pierwszym krajem.
Poland was one of the few countries that so actively and consistently waged war against the communist system, which contributed to the overthrow of communism in Central and Eastern Europe.
Systemem komunistycznym, z komunistyczną władzą.
To się narodziło w Polsce.
Solidarity was born in Poland, from its Polish roots and from the suffering of the Polish people, and this is what happened later. What Walentynowicz and many other people suffered from was that various internal and external forces tried to make solidarity into an ideological lever. A significant role in the protests was played by the Catholic Church, including the Pope, Karol Wojtyla, Father Jerzy Popiełuszko and Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski. Catholic priests came to the strikers and said Mass. Thousands of striking workers wanted to go to confession. All this creates this incredible atmosphere of moral uplift. Signed on the 31st of August 1980, the August agreements that contained the famous 21 demands for more freedoms in the communist-dominated political system that were in accord between the rising Solidarity Union and Poland's communist authorities. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, who attended a special meeting of the Solidarity Board in Gdansk, said that the milestones that led to the emergence of the Solidarity Trade Union, the first independent trade union in the communist bloc, were made possible through the effort of generations of workers, educated people, students and farmers. The milestones that led to the creation of Solidarity were the great efforts of workers, intellectuals, students and farmers who fought on various barricades.
Tu zażądali wolności.
They demanded freedom and took the crucial steps towards it.
Ważne elementy.
A building in Lublin has become the first in the world to install an innovative photovoltaic installation made entirely from solar panels using pioneering perovskite technology. Poland is the first country in the world where a professional perovskite foundry is operational. The installation, which covers an area of 32 square metres, functions as a photovoltaic blind or so-called sunbreaker, protecting the building from both overheating and overcooling. Controlled automatically, the panels work with a weather station installed on the roof, which allows them to change position depending on the movements of the sun. Olga Malinkiewicz, CTO and co-founder of Sol Technologies, the company behind the use of the new technology, said, "We proudly present our complete product, automatic slats, sunbreakers, operating on the facade of our first client's building, Aliplast." After opening the world's first perovskite cell factory in Wrocław in May, today, less than 3 months later, we are again making a revolution in the global photovoltaic and renewable energy industry. It is the world's first commercial use of perovskite solar cells. The perovskite technology, which allows for thinner and more flexible solar panels which can be installed on a wider range of surfaces, can generate the same amount of energy from both natural and artificial light. The perovskite material used in the production of cells can be chemically manufactured and used like ink, with panels being printed with the help of specialized printers. Due to their properties, the perovskite cells can also be used on surfaces previously unsuitable for all or any type of solar panel installation, such as lightweight constructions, car roofs, sails on yachts, and smartphone and laptop cases. Co-founder of the company, Dawid Zielinski, said that the Lublin installation was a pilot installation. We are going to analyse how it works under Polish conditions in the East, and we will think how we can optimise the cost of installing this type of device so that it can be commercialised globally. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.